Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Formula One 2021 League. This is Imola. This is the second Italian race of the season. It's a weird one. I don't think I'm bad on this one. I don't think I'm great on this one. I'm really not sure how to gauge this one. There's a couple people I think will be fairly good, but we're gonna see how it goes. I think my game plan is to try and start on the mediums here. I'm going to do some soft laps just to see how we do and see what the field's doing, but this is definitely one where strategy I think will come in quite a lot here. Once again, I'm going to put up the points from the last race. The last race was Mexico, so if you haven't watched Mexico, please do go watch Mexico. Definitely an interesting race there. It did, spoiler alert, snap our 5-win streak. But that doesn't change a lot because we are still 32 points ahead of Moreau's in second place. But most importantly, we are 1 point trailing of Alfa Romeo in the constructors. And there is this race, and 5 more races. So every single point matters as I go out for my outlap here. And you can see some of the twists and bends that these tires are going to have to endure. So I'm going to skip to my qualifying lap here, and we'll see how I do. So now on to my very first qualifying lap, and what you're going to notice here is that Imola has one of the longest opening straights of any circuit. It is got a very good amount of length, and it means a lot of overtakes are going to happen right here as I take a really weird angle going to the first corner. Not really sure, maybe I was distracted there, but you can see it's very fast, longer chicanes there into even more, and your braking point here is so important. The back end can kick out and then you can invalidate, so you need to keep it safe. I'm definitely being a little safe on this lap, but it's so far so good. You saw Simple there getting out of the way, as is our rules. Do not block any other driver on their hot laps whenever possible. And now we're going, you can see just how much weight is in these corners. You can see why the tires are already 100 degrees on my front right. This one here, easy to invalidate, easy to slide. You really want to find your grip as you go up the hill from the downhill. Super easy to get out of control there. And then into the very slow chicane, one of the slowest parts of the track. And if you hit it just right, you can power through it. And I think I did it pretty well there. Maybe a little too much speed going out of the exit, but it's still going to be a pretty good lap time. As you can see, there's poles at 1:16.999 by Chills as we go around the final straight, and we're going to come close to the wall to save a few hundredths off our time, and we do a 1:15.6, and that is easily ahead of everyone else. And you can see that one did stick, and we are going to be pole to start this race. No, this is not the race, but I just wanted to show this quickly because this is why we had to restart. In the first corner we'll do. Oh my god.
The safety car just
safety car is compromised. Pass it.
Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. We're restart.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That was the most weird thing that happened at the beginning of this, but let's just say I lost several positions while the AI took over my car. Everything went wrong, so we are restarting this race, and that means we're also going to start on fresh softs. So now on to the race itself. I have to very quickly pick out my strategy because we had to restart the race, which means your entire setup is not there. So you have 30 seconds to set up everything you want for the race, and it is very, very quick as we get 5 red lights on Imola. And away we go, and it looks like a fairly good start for me. A little bit of low revs, but it looks like we got a better start than everyone else. And I am going to hold the racing line for now. I'm just checking to see if anyone's in a position to dive me. Doesn't look like it, so I'm going to take a normal racing line here and just try not to spin here. An early spin can really spell disaster for the race. You can notice that one of the Alfa Romeo's, Sinful, is in 5th, and he is on the medium, so he could be a contender for the end of the race. We have to keep an eye out for him. As we control the beginning of this circuit. So now on to lap number 3. You can see that Chills just set a fastest lap behind me while DRS is activated because it's on this opening straight. He won't get it here, but he is already on my inside, and I have a really bad line as I mount the curb, and he's going to get a free pass, and all of a sudden I have an Alfa Romero on my outside. I have to give Moreau space. I'm trying to hold the inside line here. I know the braking spot's a little awkward, so I give him space there, and my back end kicks out as well, and I am going to be into the gravel, and it's going to be rough for me as Sinful on his medium strat is also going to catch me here, and my back tire is still just a little hot. They're not in the red zone yet, but they're definitely a little more slippery than I'm accustomed to. One thing that Chills got there is I think he had a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure if that ended up getting removed after the race or if he got it as a result of avoiding contact with me. But as always, we are racing as if no one has penalties in case they get all of them removed. You never know. But it's once again we are in damage control land after the Mexico quote-unquote disaster. It's here again, so we kind of have to put our head down and again keep our emotions down and try and focus. Right now we're still on the podium, and that's the positive. So now on to lap number 5. As you can see, a little bit of damage control has happened. I am right behind Moreau's. His backlight is flashing, which means, at least at the time it was flashing, so he was about 10%, which means he's probably charged up to about 20 here, back down to 10, and we're still at 20. We have DRS for the straight, so we're going to save our batteries, go down here, and we are going to overtake him. And you will also notice that he has a 3-second penalty. Once again, you got to race like there's no penalties, but that hopefully will stick and that'll help us out. So that is us retaking second place, and now we have to catch Chills. And Chills is also coming off his first win in Mexico. And I mentioned it, or I could put a little text box there to congratulate him because he started this season as a rookie and he had to be put into the regular standings because he was just so quick. And on Imola on this day, he was just so much rapidly faster than the rest of us. I will say I was very, very slow compared to my time trial pace. Just like taking weird angles, not feeling 100% correct. But that's not to discredit what he's done. He did so well, and you can see here, I'm still doing okay because Morose is about to fall out of my DRS if I can just hold him out here, but he's going to catch up to me yet again. And because he is so close to me, I make a very last-second decision. I'm going to go for the undercut, and I'm going to go in the pits so Morose can't do the undercut. But also, he wants to prevent me from getting any advantage, so he comes in right behind me. And you can see Simple is going to pass us here. My teammate passes us here. And this is the strat coming into play. This is probably an Alfa Romero's advantage, as Sinful gets a good amount of clean air ahead of him. But I think this is the only way we catch up to Chills. So on to lap number 7. You can see ahead of me, Basic and Sinful are both in the pits. Chills is in second place because my teammate is out on his mediums right now. So I believe he still has a pit left to do. But Sinful, importantly, comes out behind us. So the undercut for us did help a little bit. We've got 6 seconds, but there are 8 laps left, and the softs will be around a second a lap faster. So he is almost assuredly going to catch up to us, and we have so much more work. Notably, though, as we were going in the pits, I think we were around the 5 to 7 second mark behind Chills. I can't remember, and I'm absolutely not going back. But we definitely gained a little bit of time by pitting earlier, so again, strategy coming into play. We're doing whatever we can to make up as many positions as possible after our early mistake. Now, a big jump ahead, 7 laps later, lap 15 of 16. This is how kind of straightforward the race was. It was very much everyone had their strategy and stuck to it. You can see that Sinful has caught up, and he's 1.5 seconds behind me, and I'm almost out of battery because I need to keep him out of my DRS into the last lap. He also has a 3-second penalty, but as I've said multiple times now, I'm just going to keep saying it. It could get removed. If it's just one warning and that saves him, I cannot let him. And you can see he's 1.2 seconds behind, so he's just going to lose out. I'm going to use a little bit of battery here, but I'm going to save the rest just in case he is able to catch up. His softs will be pretty much on par with my mediums now. maybe a little bit faster, they'll last a bit longer. You can see Chill's miles and miles away. He definitely found his speed on the mediums, and I lost mine. So at this point, I was just trying to play it safe. And so because nothing really changed on this one, I'm going to show you this final lap. You can kind of see what it's like to drive on the mediums now compared to the time trial. You see my braking points a little earlier. I'm trying to accelerate a little bit later. Sinful now under a second. Might have just been for the turn. It's going to be a little bit variable there. But it's important that I push here, because as of right now, we have one car ahead of both Alfa Romeos and one car behind. And the difference between the difference between second and third is 4 points. So it is very major that I stay ahead and try to mitigate how much constructors points damage happens here. No warnings there. I think I had 2 for the longest time, but I managed to get, or I managed to keep out of the 3 seconds. And it's also important that I push here, because on the off chance that Chills gets another 3-second penalty and he goes a little off track because of it, all of a sudden I'm contending for the first, but it's not going to be like that. We are going to get second place, which is a really good finish. You can see all the penalties get applied as people cross the line. So overall, it was a very good race, but unfortunately it wasn't a very interesting race. And that's gonna be the end as well, so I don't have a lot of recording after this. It was super late when we did the one race this weekend, so we were all tired, so there's not even a shot of me on the podium. But you can see the points here. So after Imola, we do go even further ahead in the drivers. We are now, oh god, I'm making myself do math, 39 points ahead of Moroz in second. He can still come back from that. I need a couple DNFs. And he can easily be back in it, so it's not over just yet. But you can see, because I finished second, both Alphas finished third, fourth, and then my teammate finished fifth, we are dead tied for the Constructors' Championship. So, man, we just cannot separate the top 2, as you can see. So I want to thank everyone for watching. It's going to be a bit of a shorter video. Hopefully it's maybe a bit refreshing as well. So enjoy that, and I will be working on the next video probably right after this. So hopefully the next one is not too long after this one. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.